Hi one and all. So in the previous classes videos, we learned how to use a design suite called Xilinx in order to simulate and to verify the working of a given logic circuit, right? Specifically, we learned how to simulate the full adder using VHDL code, and we learned how to verify its working using the design suite, right? So remember, the first point you need to remember, you should remember is you should be aware of port description. I mean, you should know how many number of inputs the circuit will take and how many number of outputs the circuit will produce, right? And then you should know the Boolean expression for each and every outputs. Then you can able to go to the tool and you can able to simulate and you can able to verify it's working, right? So in this video, we shall learn how to write the VHDL code for 8:1 multiplexer. We shall simulate 8:1 multiplexer and we shall verify it's working. See, have a look at the port description. So actually it will take three inputs mainly, namely D, which stands for data, S stands for selection lines, Y for output. Okay, and here as per the problem statement, 8:1 multiplexer means, see, this is a logic circuit which will take 8 inputs. So here we are using a concept called vector, which is very similar to array concept in C or in C++ or in Python or in Java, okay, or any programming language for that matter. And this 7 down to 0 is actually dimension of the array or the vector. So this is the least significant bit or lower bound, this is the upper bound. So 0 to 7 totally it is of 8 because we need a data line, I mean specifically 8 data lines. So that's why we have defined data line as a vector whose dimension is 0 to 7. And have you remembered that 8:1 multiplexer will have 3 selection lines? Okay, 3 selection lines. In case of 4:1 multiplexer, you will have 2 selection lines. Clear? We already have learned this about multiplexer in the previous class videos. So here S stands for selection lines whose dimension it should be 3. So lower bound will be 0, upper bound will be 2, and output is a single bit output. Clear? Okay, and this is the VHDL code that you had to write between begin and end of the module. Clear? Okay, now we shall jump into the tool directly and we shall come back and we shall see how to define that data line, selection line and the output line. Okay, so I already have mentioned you in the previous class to launch the design suite. Just double click on the shortcut. Okay, you will get a tip. Okay, you can make use of this tip. Okay, then as I said in the previous class video itself, every experiment has to be implemented by defining a new project. Go to file, new project. Okay, I can give an name of the project multiplexer or project mux. Okay, don't worry about this default values. Okay, click next, and every project should have one source file which is of type VHDL. Okay, and give the name of the module as yum. Okay, you can give any name. Okay, here this is important. Okay, just recall the ports data, selection and output line. Data line should be of dimension 0 to 7, selection line should be of dimension 2 down to 0. Now we shall see how we can able to do this with help of the tool. Okay, D, S and Y. Okay, Y should be output. We already have learned how to make the corresponding signal as an output signal, right? Okay, and data should be input, selection line should be input, but it is not of single bit. In this case it is of a vector, right? To define this data as a vector, can you see a column called bus here with a checkbox? Okay, just tick this checkbox so that now you are making this D as a vector, right? And LSB stands for least significant bit, MSB stands for most significant bit, and or you can treat this LSB as a lower bound and MSB as an upper bound. So dimension of this array should be 0 to 7. And in case of selection line, it should be also an vector whose dimension should be 0 to 2. Clear? Okay, Y is a single bit output, so you no need to choose a bus. So once again, for better understanding, I have came back here. Data line should be a vector of dimension 7 down to 0. Selection line should be a vector of dimension 2 down to 0. That's what we have done here. Okay, and y is a single bit, so you no need to choose the bus. Next, okay, you have a look at the summary. Finish. Next, next, finish. Okay, now the tool by default it has to generate the code. Okay, and your job is you need to write the VHDL code between this begin and end. Clear? Okay, here y is the output, right? So y should be equal to, have you remembered how actually 8:1 multiplexer will work? Okay, have you remembered how actually 8:1 multiplexer will work? Okay, once again, if you have forgotten, okay, let me explain how actually it will work. Okay, how actually it will work. Here we are implementing 8:1 multiplexer, right? So how it 8:1 multiplexer will looks? How 8:1 multiplexer will looks? Okay, so if you treat this as an 8:1 multiplexer, so that will have totally 8 input lines and 3 selection lines and 1 output line. So this is 8:1 multiplexer. Okay, let me label this data line as, so this is will be d of 0. So here why I am taking this as d of 0, because here we have defined data line as a vector. Okay, and as I said, it is similar to array in C, right? Okay, have you remembered in C or in Java we will access array element using square bracket, right? Something, if the array name is D, if you want to fetch the first element in that array, you are writing like this, d of 0. But in VHDL, remember, this square bracket has been replaced with the open parenthesis and close parenthesis. The rest will be same. The rest will be same. Similarly, data second line will be d of 1. So this will be d of 2 and this will be d of 7. D of 7. This is y, right? Okay, and similarly you can write this as selection line. Okay, since it is ranging from 0 to or 2 to 0. Okay, and have you remembered how this will work? How this will work? If the selection line has a value 0 0 0, then it will select the signal coming from D0 and it will send that signal as an output through y. Okay, why? Because the selection line has a value 0, right? And if the selection line has a value 0 0 1, okay, then it will choose the data line 1. In this case, it will choose data line 1, and what you are supplying through this line. Whether if you are supplying 1 through this line, then that 1 will be sent as an output. So this is how it will work. Clear? Okay, with this understanding, we shall we write the VHDL code. See here, y should be assigned with d of 0. Data which is coming at line d of 0 when selection line has the value 0 0 0, right? Else, okay, I can write in a single line like this, else y of d of 1 when, okay, I can continue like it here. For better understanding, I will write this in a new line. Remember, there is no rule that it should be in the same column like this. Okay, you can write that in a single line itself, but for better understanding I am putting down here. Clear? Okay, d of 1 when selection line has the value 0 0 1, right? Else, okay, it should have the value, y should have the value of d of 2 when selection line has the value 0 1 0. Else, it should have the value d of 3 when selection line has the value 0 1 0. Else, it should have the value d of 4 when selection line has the value 100, which is nothing but 4. I am writing that 4, I mean decimal value 4 in binary here. Okay, okay, else y should have the value of d of 5 when selection line has the value 5, which is nothing but in binary 101. Else it should have the value of d of 6 when the selection line has the value okay, 6 means 110 in binary. Else it should have the value d of 7. Okay, I can continue like this when selection line has the value 111, and I can end it here. Or else the better code is I can end the statement here itself. I can end the statement. See, semicolon, this is the end of the statement and this is the beginning of the statement. This is a single statement. Remember, this is a single statement. For better understanding, I have splitted this into multiple lines. Clear? Okay, this is what has been written in the manual. So this is the VSTL code. Clear? Okay. Yes. Clear? Okay. Now we have written the code. Okay. I don't need this. Okay. Okay, I don't need this. Let it be. Okay. Now after writing the code, what we have to do, we need to check for the syntax, right? It will be present under implement design, under synthesize, and double click on this. Okay, so this is the first phase. Okay, now we have cleared the first phase. Now we have to go to the simulation part and go to project, new source, and choose the waveform, test bench waveform, and you can give any name for the waveform. Okay, don't worry about this. Okay, y is the output line, d is the data line, s is the selection line. Clear? So if you click on this, if you click on plus icon, it will show the each and every individual line in this array, right? This is d of 0, d of 1, d of 2, d of 3, I mean data line 4, 5, 6, 7, like this, right? This is the data line, and you can provide the data randomly like this, high low, like this, randomly. Don't worry about these values, don't worry about this gray values present in the gray box. Okay, so this is how we can able to provide the data. Okay, you no need to provide the value for the output because that is meaningless. And this is the selection line value. Again, if you click on this plus, okay, it will show the each individual selection lines. Okay, so data you can provide randomly like this, but selection line value has to be provided in a sequential manner. So that is not a rule, but if you provide the selection line value in a sequence like 0, 1, 2, 3, then it will be useful for us to verification. So how to provide the value for selection line? It is very simple. Now initially look at the selection line gray box. It has a value 0. So initially selection line value is 0. Now I want to make the selection line value 0 up to here. Up to here. So just click the left button in the mouse, okay, inside the gray box, and treat this color, white border color and cyan border color as a border, and click it here. Okay, approximately you can click it here, and a window will appear which will ask for the value that has to be set to the selection line. I want to set the value 1 there, towards this side. Okay, click OK. Now see here, so initial value has been shifted here, and I have set the value 1 after this. Similarly, after this, okay, use this as a border. After this, I need the value 2. So anywhere after this, anywhere inside the gray box, you can click and you can enter the value as 2. Similarly, after this, I need the value 3. So click it here and 3. Okay, okay, 4, okay, 5, okay, 6, 7. Okay, So now I have provided all possible values for the selection line. Since the selection line has the value, has the dimension of 3, so possible values are 2 to the power of 3, 8, which is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So this is how you need to provide the input for the multiplexer, and after providing the input, save this, and this is our waveform. And after this you need to go to the process tab and look for the simulator, okay, and click simulate behavioral model. Okay, now you should get the output screen. Okay, and in the output screen you should be in a position to explain how the multiplexer whether the multiplexer is working or not. Okay, this is the output line. Can you see y? Okay, y has some value. Okay, this is the data line. Okay, go to the individual data line by clicking plus icon. Now individual data line has been shown here, so you no need to see the individual selection line. Okay, better to have a higher picture of selection line. Okay, now interesting. Okay, from this point to this point, from this point to this point, selection line has a value 0. So what we learned theoretically, if selection line value is 0, then out of 8 input line, it will choose us data of 0, the first as an input line, right? And look at here, look at D naught line, and what D naught line is carrying, whether it is 0 or 1, it is 0. So hence Y will have the value 0. Clear? Okay, let me explain for selection line value 1. See here, the selection line has a value 1 from this point to this point. Okay, what it means, you need to look at the data line D of 1, right? So look at data line D of 1. Okay, from this point to this point, or if I treat this as a point, okay, better I will drop it here. Look at here, D of 1 as a value 0, right? D of 1 as a value 0. So at that point y will have the value 0, right? Okay, now interesting. See, now we are here at this point. At this point the selection line has a value 2, right? What it means, you need to look at data line 2. Look at data line 2. Data line 2 at that point, it is 1. Either you can refer at this point, or see it here. See here, it has a value 1. Hence y will have the value 1. High here. Okay, go to the next value. Okay, at this point the selection line has a value 3. Okay, and you need to look at data line 3. Data line 3, right? Okay, this is D of 0, D of 1, D of 2, D of 3. Okay, D of 3 actually it should be high, right? It is D of 3 is high. Okay, let us check. D of 4 is high. Yeah, D of 4 is 1. Okay, what about 5? Yeah, it is correct. What about 3? Why it is not showing? So in case of 3 we are not getting the result, so just check the code. Yeah, just check the code. See here, I have done a mistake here. So D of 3 should be selected when selection line has a value 3. In binary it is 0, 1, 1. So now what we shall do? Okay, we shall close this. Okay, let us keep the same waveform. Okay, now we shall go to the synthesis. Okay, now we shall save the work and go to process and right click, rerun all. So because I did the changes, whenever I do the changes, it has to be compiled again. Okay, this is how when you find that it is not working, you should come back to the code and see whether you have written the correct code. If you have not written the correct code, then repeat the steps. So I won't again define the new waveform. I will take the same waveform, this waveform, same input. Okay, now I will call for simulate behavioral model. Okay, where actually we went wrong at D of 3, right? Okay, now we shall observe that particular point. Okay, now look at the selection line, okay, whose value is 3. Okay, this point. Now what is D3 has? D3 has 1. D3 this line, right? D3 is this line. Okay, it is 1. Okay, hence y will have the value 1. Okay, similarly if you look at D of 6, we already have verified 4, I think 5 also. Now if you look at 6, so what d of 6 has the value, what value that d of 6 is carrying at this point is 0, hence y will have the value 0. So I think this is better instead of going like this and seeing what is actually there. Okay, if similarly at 7 you need to look at d of 7 has a value 0, hence y will have the value 0. Clear? So now we have verified all possible, verified the multiplexer for all possible values of selection values, and it's working fine. Now I can decide I have successfully completed the experiment. Clear? So thank you. Okay, in this video just we learned how to simulate and verify the working of 8:1 multiplexer with the help of Design Suite. Okay, in the coming class we shall see how to simulate and verify the working of other logic circuits. So once again, if you have any doubt with respect to carrying out the experiment, you can either send me a WhatsApp message or through a mail. Okay, or you can contact me in personal also, no problem. So thank you one and all.